So, Mike, let's talk about the latest with the Michael Jackson trial.
Yeah, fascinating, Virginia, when you look at the questions prospective jurors are going to have to answer in the Conrad Murray trial. Now, a hearing today, we'll talk about that. Let's bring in our legal experts to help us walk through it. Attorney Debra Opri joins us now. She was retained by Catherine and Joe Jackson during Michael Jackson's child molestation case. Debra, let's tie up these two stories right out of the gate. I think it's fascinating that Casey Anthony will be a question for these jurors. Where is that stemming from? Is it all the media coverage? And how big of a point will that be?
It's all the media coverage because you've had a number of show hosts on your own network who are out there and making these trials key stories for a long time, and you call it witness conditioning or jury conditioning. And this is going to be key questions for this jury because they want to know how the Casey Anthony case affected or would affect them. So with the Conrad Murray trial, if you're really considering can he get a fair trial, first, of course he can. Two, I don't think any jury should be sequestered, and I know we're going to have questions on that. I think it's just jury fatigue when you sequester a jury.
So if you get prospective jurors saying, yeah, I watched Casey Anthony, I watched the coverage, I like the coverage, I like to armchair quarterback, is that someone who's automatically out?
Let's put it this way. When you sequester a jury, the jurors sit in a hotel room, they sit in a courtroom, and they get inundated with the facts of what's happening in a courtroom. When they go home, of course, they're going to watch TV. The reality is we're all human beings. I do not think this jury should be sequestered. I think it backfired in the Casey Anthony case. And I think the Michael Jackson case, while it's going to be very interesting, I do not think it's going to carry the weight of the mother possibly killing a child. I just think it's going to be two different trials.
Real quick, Joey, sequester or not?
Well, I say not to sequester. I mean, I think that we have to rely and have confidence in our jury system, and I think they could make a just decision by going home every day.
Joey, let's stay with you on Casey Anthony.
Agree.
Talking about her probation. What do you think? I think it's going to be in a compromise. I think it's going to be something like administrative probation where she serves it out of state and doesn't have to come back to Orlando. What do you think?
You know what, Mike? I actually agree with that. I really do. I think the whole thing, however, was just, you know, it was unbelievable how it was just treated so poorly. The judge, I think, has leave to just say, look, I'm going to void it. She served it already, and let's all go home. But I think there's always that ability and willingness to compromise, even on the bench. And as a result of that, it's administrative. She stays away. She doesn't cause the mayhem that her appearing would cause. Life goes on, and who knows what happens with Casey Anthony. Maybe she turns herself around.
It's a jurisdiction problem. It's a jurisdiction problem because when you go past the appellate time to file, you're going to have a judge saying, look, right or wrong, he made an oral comment in the courtroom, superseded by a written order, a minute order, and then more than 60 days has passed. The court has no jurisdiction, as Judge Perry said. That's the strongest argument you have as to why we should do nothing. And I think there will be no action taken. I think she's free. I think it's done. It's over with. Double jeopardy.
I'm fascinated by the dynamic in the courtroom during the hearing. It almost seemed like Judge Perry made a stronger case to really take a look at this and potentially take action than the state did. What do you make of that?
I think he's a very conservative judge. He's a very procedural judge, and I think he's going to go by the book. He is not an activist judge on any level. He's a guy who's going to say, what are her rights? Is it double jeopardy? And he's going to have to let her go. So, no, I don't see Judge Perry as an activist judge. Very conservative.
He did his homework, though, Debra. I mean, in the sense that he was the one who mentioned administrative probation 2 or 3 times.
Yes, he did.
And he was almost strong. I thought not almost, he was stronger. I think to Virginia's point, stronger than Frank George was in poking questions.
He's done his homework.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
He's done his homework because he went by the book. And will he give administrative probation? I don't know. The question becomes, does he have the jurisdiction to do anything at this point in time?
Right.
We don't know, but he'll let us know.
We'll have to leave it there. Debra Opri, Joey Jackson, thank you so much, both.
Pleasure, Virginia.